All right, and I'm back. It's Unique News Travels on TV and Chris, who's not here right now, but I'm coming back to talk about why Korea. So I had somebody ask me that. I had several people ask me that. A few in the comments under the few videos that I posted. Why Korea? How did I get here? What is going on? Well, coronavirus is why I'm in Korea. Okay, so we went back to the States because I was finishing grad school and I had to do my internship. And so last October, I got a job in China. And I took that job and I was supposed to be going to work in that job, even though some of you might know how I feel about China. The money was really good, and I was like, I can do this. And Chris got a job in the same city as myself at a different school, and it was just gonna be cool. So, supposed to go to China, then coronavirus hit, and China closed their borders, which they're still closed now. So when coronavirus had hit and they closed their borders, I was like, nah, I need to find someplace else. I knew right then. I'm not a person who's like, I wouldn't say I'm not optimistic, but I'm a realist, and I'm like, nah, I'm not about to sit up here and wait for them to maybe possibly one day open their borders. Like, no. So as soon as that happened, I started looking at other places. Then I got hired for Kuwait. And I was like, and then Chris got hired for Kuwait at a different school again. And we are like, all right, let's go to Kuwait again. And said, and the Kuwait job was going to be for actual school counseling. Now the China job, the pay was really good, but I was going to be a teacher again. So, I had kind of convinced myself, because Chris and I have some financial goals that we're trying to hit in these next 2 years, that, well, I could always write back around to come to that counseling job, but I need this money now. So I was willing to take that Chinese job, teaching kindergarten, at an international school. But then coronavirus happened and that went out the window. Then it was Kuwait. I got hired at Kuwait for a school counseling job. So I'm like, all right, cool. I get to be a counselor. The pay is the exact same as it would have been in a China job. Great. I never been to Kuwait versus, China I've already been to. So it'd be cool to go to someplace different. Like I had all these plans. I'm like, oh, I want to go to Africa. I want to go on a safari. Like I want to go on a desert tour. Like I had all these things I wanted to do once I got over there to Kuwait, because it's not that far from Africa. So the flights would be really cheap to go. I was like, oh, I want to go to Egypt, see the pyramids. I had like a whole little list of things that I plan to do, y'all. Okay. And then again, coronavirus happened, and Kuwait had their borders closed, and they were like telling us, "Oh, they're gonna open back up. They're gonna open back up," and I was like, again, like with China, nah. Let's just start looking at other avenues, because maybe they said they closed the border in Kuwait because of Ramadan. They saw a spike in cases. And when Ramadan happened, they went on lockdown where they imposed a curfew and all this stuff. And I'm like, how your border is closed and it's getting worse, not better. Then they started like cornering off whole neighborhoods with barricades, where if you lived in a certain neighborhood, that most of the neighborhoods that had high foreigner populations, and when I say foreigner, I don't mean like American, British, or in Australian or anything like that. Specifically like the Indians, because they have a high Filipino Indian that are workers there, and so they like barricaded these people in their neighborhood and say they could not leave, and was out there like enforcing it with police and stuff. And I had some people that I knew who lived there, because their school housing was there, and they could not leave, and it lasted for over a month where they could not leave, you guys. So yeah, that's what they was doing over there in Kuwait, and I was like, nah, we need to look. I'm not trying to do all that. And who knows if they even gonna open? Like things are getting worse for them, not better. This was my thought at the time. When everything started happening, so then it was like, all right, let's look for something else. So then it was Taiwan, and was like, okay, let's go back to Taiwan. So Chris and I got hired at the same school. Actually, I decided not to take the job at the school and was looking for a different job, for multiple reasons. But Chris and I got hired at a school in Taiwan. And Taiwan borders are closed, but if you get a job and you get a work permit, you can go. They're only letting people in who already have a alien residency card, the ARC card, or for business, and you could prove that, or for a job, which is kind of like business or whatever. So then I didn't take the job in Taiwan for different reasons. And then Korea came. And it's just because I was doing research. I'm like, okay, where can we go? Where is still open, that's still accepting Americans, that we can both get a job in, and that it's not that likely to close their borders on us before we can get over there. And Korea was the one. And Korea ended up being the one because I ended up getting a school counselor's job. So that's even better. Chris ended up getting a job as well at a Hagwon. And a Hagwon is like, if you don't think about China, it's like the equivalent to a training school. And so that's why we end up being here at different times, and we're actually going to be in different cities this time. But yeah, so it was just, it was fate, basically. Coronavirus kind of pushed us here because Korea wasn't on my radar at all. It's nowhere where I was applying to. The school I actually got hired at, that I'm working at now, I went to a job fair at the end of January in Iowa, International School Job Fair, and this school approached me to be a school counselor to do an interview, and I declined. Just because I had got an offer someplace else, and I declined that job. I declined that interview, and then here we go. And what happened was, months later, they sent me an email saying, "Hey, we have a high school counselor position open. Would you like to interview for it?" And everything was like going down the toilet, and I was like, sure, And then I did the interview, and then they decided they wanted someone with more experience because I'm a recent graduate, and they was like, we're gonna pass you on to our elementary team. So then I had to interview again, and I got the job. So that is how we ended up in Korea. Literally just crazy, because if you would have asked me back in, like I said, I got the job in China back in, October, I would have never said Korea. I never even, Korea has real winter, like New York winter, and I don't like the cold. I don't like snow. I don't like none of that stuff right there. So, like, when I was to China, I was at the very bottom of China in Shenzhen. It's hot. Taiwan is an island, tropical. It's hot. You know what I mean? Mexico is hot. So I like the heat. I'm not into that whole cold weather thing. But we're here. We're gonna make the best of it. I bought plenty of winter stuff to be ready for when that time comes. And yeah, so that is why Korea. It wasn't necessarily a choice. It just what ended up happening due to, we had to readjust and adapt because of coronavirus. So I definitely recommend all you people out there who are, wanting to go work abroad, or have been told by your schools that they're canceling your contract, because a lot of that has been happening. They got jobs in China or in Kuwait or in other countries. Miramar, one of my friends, Miramar. And then they were told that their contract has now been canceled because they can't get over there, and they're not about to pay people or whatever to do online schools and stuff like that. Even the school that I signed with in China, they ended up sending everyone a message, because I didn't tell them I wasn't coming, because I was just trying to see, well, maybe the border will open up and then we'll have to make our decision then. But I never told them I wasn't coming, and they messaged us a few weeks ago telling everybody, because all the foreign staff were out the country, even the ones who had been working there. Even the principal was out the country. They fired the principal, they fired all the foreign staff, everybody, saying, well, we got to replace you guys with people who are in the country, because we can't run a school with with everybody, all the foreigners abroad. Because some of them got trapped, like they were on vacation. Oh, the sirens. I'm trying to wait. It's loud. It's taking a while. Anyway, so they messaged. It's still going. I'm sorry. They messaged all of us basically telling us our contracts were terminated at the end of July. And if and when China opens back up and if they need people, we're more than welcome to reapply or whatever. So, yeah. But even the principal got replaced. Like, everybody got replaced. And that happened at a lot of schools, at a lot of jobs. Chris' school, that hired her in China, which was in my same city, but a totally different school, an international school, actually. And they told her basically almost the same thing. Like, okay, well, we're gonna have to let you go due to what's going on or whatever. So I would just tell people, my advice would be, if you're trying to go abroad, just do your research, find the country or the countries that you could get into, that as being an American or being a British person, or whatever your nationality is, because as you know, the American passport is going down right now because of everything that's going on. So I would definitely recommend you doing that, because there are, for Americans, there's like maybe 36 countries you can get into, last I checked. So yeah, that's how Korea came. This is UniqueNewsDrive.tv. I'm going to make another video about that coronavirus test that I was telling you guys about. And I think that'll be it. Oh, I can make one about the visa process for getting to Korea now the coronavirus is happening too. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. And I'll be back.